Some things when we go forward in modern times, current times, needs to be altered. But some things needs to remain as they are because they are the pillar.
Okay.
Each and every thriving society has at its foundation family. So when we are looking at that, if we want to change marriage, what are we saying? Do we want to change how our societies are?
Hey,
do you understand?
Yeah.
So each and every thriving family, of course, family leads to a thriving community. A thriving community,
it's been proven many times.
Over and over. So why would we want to change a model that has been working for decades and decades and decades? So for me, it's simply that. It's simply that. I don't think anything should be done about. But of course, I mean, a lot of these things, especially in the black community that are happening, those are intentional. I mean, that's another topic for another day. But if you destroy family structure, you destroy a community, you destroy a nation. It is simply as that.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for choosing this video. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the Break It Down podcast with myself, Elvis, Molefi, Molf. And today I am at NewTown Junction in Johannesburg. I'll showcase how the store actually looks, and you'll see what incredible work has been done here. And as you know, the people that I invite on the podcast are not celebrities. Sometimes maybe I can invite celebrities if they meet the criteria, but the aim for this podcast is to invite individuals that I find interesting and individuals that I believe they're doing great work on the ground, and they're doing amazing stuff. You know, that kind of group of people is the people that I'll be bringing on the podcast. So today I'm chilling with Mr. Themba Mantshiyo, who is of course the brain behind the long-standing TMDS AFRICA Jewellery, and he's going to be telling me obviously about the business, just to showcase to you the spirit of resilience, because they've been around for some time. Mr. Themba, how are you doing, sir?
I am great. I'm great. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm also excited, and this place is refreshing, man. Like, you know, the aesthetics, the look and feel of the place itself. I think it's much more, interesting. I was telling you before the interview that I'm really motivated by your spirit of resilience, because TMDS has been around for some time.
Yeah,
for some time. You know, I know a lot of people who have started businesses, in the next 3 years, I mean, they call it quits. Some don't even make it to 3 years, but you've been around, if I'm not mistaken, it's about a decade or a decade.
It is.
Yeah. So tell me about how this whole thing started, and also like what keeps you going, man.
So I think I started in 2012, around the World Cup. So So during the World Cup, that's when I got my learnership at Rustenburg Orbit College. But before I even started, I had made a promise to myself that, because as most black people would relate with this, you finish school, but you don't have the funds to continue further.
Yeah.
So for me, I had made a promise with myself that anything that comes my way, I will make sure that I apply myself and give it my all. And I mean, I had an opportunity when I started to either do jewelry or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering. And also one thing about me, I don't like crowded spaces.
Okay.
You see, so
you mean in terms of like doing business or doing anything?
No. It's just doing it. But of course it depends. But when I mean I don't like crowded spaces, is I simply say that I knew that most people would go for mechanical engineering and electrical engineering.
Yeah.
So I from that I switched. I was like, you know what? I know most people would go there. And as you know, any place that is crowded, of course competition is tough, which is opportunities can also be less because there's like a lot of people who are pursuing.
Yeah.
But besides that, I wanted to challenge myself in doing something that is completely different to what most of our people are used to.
Wow.
And then from there it was like I fell in love, and I understood that jewelry jewelry is not just playing, but there's a there is a powerful message behind each and every handmade piece of jewelry.
Sure.
Because you need to understand that if you are making, especially when it comes to wedding rings, weddings are or marriage is a bond between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
We are bringing together these families, and they are represented by a ring. So when you make each and every piece by hand, you are basically becoming part of those people's lives for decades. And also the nice thing about jewelry, custom-made jewelry, is that you are preserving your family history through a single piece.
Wow.
Because it's if I were
I've never
to
thought
write,
about it that way.
If I were to write, I would like the books would be like huge on just on that. Because if, for example, this ring, you see this ring?
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
nice, by the way.
yeah, I made this ring, I think about maybe half a decade ago.
Half a decade
Yeah,
ago.
half a decade ago.
Sure.
And I'm still wearing it. You see,
And it's
still,
fresh
yeah, it
now.
still look fresh.
Yeah.
So one day, if I decide to give it to my son, I'm a father, you know.
We'll
new
talk about
dad.
that.
So,
We'll talk about
so yeah, if I decide to give it to my father, you understand that my son would be experiencing all the things that I have went through this ring.
And there is that emotional connection.
Connection, yeah. You know, so and also it holds much power when my son gives it to their son and say, "My father gave me this ring."
Your grandfather.
You see?
And it can, because this is a strong product, so it can
Exactly.
even last generations after generations.
So for me, understanding the power of jewelry, you can't say no to it. You can't say no to the task at hand if you understand what's behind. And also the nice thing is you simply take something on paper, a simple idea, and bring it to life.
Wow.
Also, the thing is,
hey, this is crazy,
jewelry
man.
is
Like,
deep. I can tell you,
like
jewelry it's so deep that not a lot of people understand how deep jewelry is. Because also, when it comes to life, because I specialize in handmade jewelry. When it comes to life, jewelry is almost like a reflection of life. Because each and every piece poses challenges, right? When you make each and every piece has its own challenges. And no one piece of jewelry will be the same. Made by the same person, but it will never be the same. The same idea that you can't, or same thing as you can't retrace back your steps. It's like that with each and every piece of jewelry. So if you have to work forward, and then you can't step in the same footsteps, your own footsteps, you can't.
You know what they say about connecting the dots looking backwards? Yeah. Because now you are even talking about a marriage, and I wanted to we're gonna break down some of the things about TMDS.
Yeah.
But I actually have an interesting question that I ask people nowadays, and I see that it's a conversation that is like building up in my circle. I'm asking people, do you think marriage at large in our society, in the kind of society that we live in, it's something that is still doable? It's something that can still be promoted to say, let's go for this thing in terms of like how we conduct our relationship? Or do you think perhaps maybe marriage needs to be customized or maybe like tailor-made in terms of like making sure that it's a working model for two people? Do you think we can go with the traditional template, or we need some kind of customization?
So, okay, for me, I believe I'm a traditionalist, and I believe in everything traditions. Some things, when we go forward in modern times, current times, needs to be altered. But some things needs to remain as they are because they are the pillar.
Okay.
Each and every thriving society has its foundation family. So when we are looking at that, if we want to change marriage, what are we saying? Do we want to change how our societies are?
Hey,
do you understand?
Yeah.
So each and every thriving family, of course, family leads to a thriving community. A thriving
It's
community,
been proven
yeah,
many times.
over and over.
Yeah.
So why would we want to change a model that has been working for decades and decades and decades? So for me, it's simply that. It's simply that. I don't think anything should be done about. But of course, I mean, a lot of these things, especially in the black community that are happening, those are intentional. I mean, that's another topic for another day. But
Right.
if you destroy family structure, you destroy a community, you destroy a nation. It is simply as that.
Sure.
You know, so I think as especially black people, we need to go back.
Yeah, we really need to go
Yeah,
back.
we need to go back. So
We
for
really
me,
need to
my
go back.
stance is that marriage is something that needs to be promoted
Again and again.
again and again.
Generation to
Yeah.
generation. The question I'm asking that is because realizing in 2021, after Stats SA released their data,
Yeah,
the number of divorces that were actually recorded.
yeah.
And that's also because of one reason, because during COVID-19, a lot of married couples were forced to, lockdown
Start, yeah.
regulations, you're now forced to actually spend the entire 24 hours with this
your-
person.
Yeah,
And a lot of people were realizing that I don't know this person actually, because a lot of times I'm at work, a lot of times, we are not together. We spend less time together, so we can't really tell whether we know each other. But during that time, they realized that I don't know this person.
Yeah.
And therefore, that led to,
A
the
lot of-
differences,
yeah.
and then obviously leading to divorce. So maybe marriage is not necessarily the thing that I'm saying it should be cancelled, but I'm
Yeah.
saying we should revisit it, just to check,
If-
some of the things that are still working within
Yeah,
the marriage.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
marriage is a structure. And
Yeah,
the structure
yeah.
is made out of, different components.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I think also, for me, a lot of people enter into marriage for wrong reasons. A lot of people, because I can
That's
tell you in the
interesting, yes.
business, yeah, we're in the business where you'd see ladies would say, "Oh, if I could have a ring," that kind of a mentality. And also, a lot of these things are influenced by social media, and it's the makeup of marriage.
Yeah.
It's not actually the marriage itself, but it's the makeup. Like, if I have the ring, I'm Miss Momo. So that's the wrong mindset.
A lot of women I would say they fantasize a wedding more than a marriage.
Yeah. So I think that's the problem. So if we could go back and re-educate, I would say most of our women, because I can tell you, I see a lot of guys who really want to settle down, but they always a bit skeptical if this thing will work out. I can tell you, most guys, they want to do the right thing and say, "Be my woman." I can tell you, because I'm in the business. They come here, I have those conversations with them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think a conversation needs to be had with women.
Sure.
With women.
Yeah.
For me, I think that's the conversation that needs to be had.
It needs to. Yeah.
There are certain values and principles that we need to promote as the black into society, because there's like a lot of things that are happening in the world. There's a lot of things, distractions.
A lot of them.
A lot of distractions that
A
are
lot of them,
happening.
yeah.
So yeah, we need to focus. Yeah, we need to.
That's really interesting,
we
man.
need to-
Let's get back to business.
Okay.
Business is a very difficult thing to
Yeah, of
start. I
course.
think in the last, I would say 7 years
Yeah.
of my life trying different things,
Yeah,
I realized that business is one of the most difficult things and underrated as well.
Of course.
In terms of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Underrated
true,
a
true.
lot. A person has an idea today, they think, oh, want to make it work,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there are certain things that come in between, and if you're not really prepared, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a plan it's even secondary. If you don't have that spirit of resilience in terms of like, when you fail, you still move forward. You've been in the game for a long time, man. I'm like, 2012 is like what, 14 years?
We're turning 12 this year.
Oh, it's 12.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it's
So
12.
the company is turning 12 this year. 12.
Sure.
The company is turning 12.
12 years into this jewellery thing.
Yeah.
At some
yeah.
point, when we were still at the business clinic, you were taking like some waste.
Yeah.
And converted converting it into jewelry. How do you do that?
That's actually that's another business that I paused because I realized that if you are into too many things at once, that could that could really strain you.
100%. I totally agree with you, man.
I paused that one.
I totally agree with
you. And I paused that one, but then what I did is I took the work and put it under our foundation. So that I am not
TMDS Foundation.
Yeah, TMDS Africa Foundation.
Africa Foundation, yes.
So that's where we teach young people how to create, art using trash.
Wow.
But the real thing, okay, what I really want to do or get at is to be at the stage where we could be able to train our own people and then employ them, not only in jewelry but in
and you find some people as well.
Yeah. Fine products. You know? And I mean, it's a journey, of course. You need to get one puzzle functioning properly, and then you can move on to another. So that's where I'm at. And like you're saying, it's not just because you are making beautiful things. You still need to market.
You still need to market.
Exactly.
You still need to have a sales strategy.
Yeah.
You still need to develop a feasible business model.
Yeah.
Because where you are right now is you have to pay rent.
Of course.
You're inside the mall, and we know how these malls operate. For a lot of black businesses, it's not easy to get inside the mall because of the cost. It's hectic.
And also, like, especially in our business, how many black jewelry owned?
I don't know one, man. Like, I know you.
You see,
you're the only black guy that I know who's in this business.
It's not.
Maybe you do because you are in the same.
But I can tell you, I think, I mean, if you had even to go across the country, they wouldn't even be more than 10.
Wow.
They wouldn't be more than 10.
Would you say that is the reason why you stick to it?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons, to realize that there's great potential in this thing. And I mean, I used to brag when I was still in Italy that, because I'm from Northwest, which is the platinum province, I walk on platinum every day. So
I was in Northwest just the day before yesterday.
So it's those conversations with myself and other people that motivate me to keep on going. But like I said, in this thing, like, if you understand that what you are doing is bigger than yourself, then it becomes easy for you to continue even when things are tough. Because I had asked myself, what will it take for me to be great? That's the question that I asked myself.
And what was the answer?
I need to be extra stubborn.
Yo.
in pursuing whatever that I think
and you
will
piss
make me
piss
great.
a lot of people off.
Of course. But I mean, we all know anyone who's great, people will mistaken them for being rude, for being self-centered. But those are the things that goes with being great. Because otherwise, it's the ingredient. Because otherwise, if you don't have those qualities, there's no way that you will be able to walk the journey towards greatness. Because you will fall, and then that's it.
Would you say those qualities you are born with, or you develop them?
You develop them.
Intentional.
You develop them.
Wow.
You develop them. Sometimes you are lucky the universe imparts some of those things
in you. So it's something that you are born with in that.
I wouldn't say. I would say, because like in life, I wouldn't pin one thing and say this is, but I don't think you could be born with it. You could develop it, because sometimes that thing, you are lucky enough to meet someone while we are still young, and they impart some knowledge.
Okay, I see.
And you take that one element from the conversation, and then that's what pushes you in your entire life.
Okay, then you start building up.
Yeah. So I always say to people, just because I have sense, it does not mean, and I will not underestimate other people who don't see things the way I see them.
Wow.
Because I feel privileged for me to understand things the way I understand them. And also have the spirit to continue even when it seems like here there's no way.
Like I'm not winning.
Yeah, so I don't take that for granted.
Wow.
I do not.
Sure. Yeah, no. This is really interesting, man, because hey, I know a lot of people who went into business
Yeah,
and later on they were like, hey, this is not my thing.
Yeah,
You know, like they like not to say that, you know, they're giving up whatever, but they're realizing this for what it is.
Yeah,
You know, and then they are realizing themselves as well. And they're being honest with themselves and saying, I'm not built for this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have those qualities, you know. And maybe I'm not even willing to actually build those qualities. So I would rather just, you know, leave this
I see.
and take my path. Because I respect people that are that are not in business, that are not in maybe whether it's creative space, whatever, but doing stuff independently, that are either maybe saying, you know what, I just need a job, I just need to make sure that I take care of my family. I respect those people, because at the end of the day, it's a sacrifice,
of course,
right?
Of course.
But then there are people who are built differently, people like yourself, who are like, I almost feel like there's something bigger than me that is calling me, that is asking me to contribute. You speak about you realize that this is something bigger than you, but you know, the business itself is just one way of doing that work. What would you say is the work? What would you say is the bigger thing?
So the bigger thing is, like, I mean, we talked about marriage, is doing God's work through jewelry. That's basically it.
Wow.
Because like I said, when two people come together, there's a bond and they are joining two families. So the representation of a ring,
the union,
you see. So it's that's God is present in that moment.
Sure.
So me being part of people's beautiful moments, I mean, as a brand, that's what we celebrate.
Yes.
Celebrating life's special moments.
Wow.
You know, so for me, that realization it's something that fulfills me. You know, when you do something that fulfills you, how can you say no? How can you say no to something that when you go to sleep, like, you sleep peacefully?
Yeah.
Like, and imagine, the thing is that, like, being fulfilled is one of the most important things in this journey.
Sure.
Because now, if you are not selling for 5 years, would you still continue?
Ish.
But if you are fulfilled, that gives you hope to continue.
Sure. So everything else is a byproduct.
Yeah. Basically.
But the fulfillment.
Basically. Because also what you mentioned, being able to change people's lives. Because you should see how happy people are when they get a jewelry gift. And when I get goosebumps every time I hear someone saying, this is my mother's earrings, this is my father's watch. Like that. It's the spirit. The spirit is still alive.
Hey man, you jog my memory now, because I remember during my high school days.
Yeah.
So when we went to matric dance, my matric dance partner, I bought her this necklace. Right. So I bought her this necklace, and I didn't show it to her up until we were at the venue. And just when we were about to enter the venue, where we were wearing our formal attires, you know, entering, you know, with your partner, you know, those kind of setups. Then I pull up with this necklace. I think I bought it at what's the shop, man? It's okay, I can't really remember, but it's a jewelry shop, right? So then I pull up with this necklace. It's a very beautiful necklace, which I thought. And when I was buying it, the lady whom was at the teller, at the till, sorry, she was like, "Hey, who are you buying this for? You know, this person should be special, you know." And I'm like, "No, this is my matric dance partner. I just thought of, you know, buying them a necklace."
I see.
So I when I was giving it to them, she was so excited, and I was like, not to say that when I was doing it, I wasn't conscious. But then I was just surprised how she got excited by just receiving a necklace, you know? So I understand what you're talking about in terms of, like, jewelry makes a lot of people, especially those that are receiving it, you know, very excited. It's that I don't know what it means to them, but
it's like, it's way deeper than what we could see.
Sure.
It's way, 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 way deeper. And I mean, like I said, how can you say no to that? Like, how can you say no to that? And since there was a scandal or shenanigans of expired food.
Oh,
You
yes.
remember from
Hey.
the So I was saying, even if people don't buy my jewelry now,
Yeah.
I can simply pack my things and go home, come back a decade later. Adiboli.
It won't expire. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about this ring that you made about what, half a decade ago. And when I look at it, I mean, it's still fresh.
Yeah.
And jewelry is, most of the time I see you posting content where you are cleaning also. You're cleaning jewelry. So it can be cleaned, can be refined. How does it work?
So you could do cleaning or you can revamp. So if you've got like an old ring or old necklace, or you want to change it, you could come to us and then we could do a different design for you.
Okay.
So that's how you can refresh it. But even when it's old, you can just simply clean it. It looks cool. You should see also when like
Sure.
a lady's been wearing a ring for years and then finally it's clean because it looks brand new. And the joy.
Yeah. Ish.
It's those moments, my man. Like it's those moments when you're like, yeah, I did my job.
This is it. Sure. Wow, man. It says there, I'm reading, I think it's your tagline. It says distinctive art objects, one at a time, handcrafted in Africa.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you representing Africa?
Yes.
Do you have a desire to showcase, this on behalf of the African continent?
Of course. There are some things that I think people are not ready to receive. So some designs, some ideas, some concepts that we have packed. But when the time is ready, we'll be able to go out. But what we want to do is not to go out into other continents. And those who want our work must come to us. So that
I love that.
So
love it.
that's the plan. That's the plan. Because if you do great work, people will come to you.
Yeah.
People will come to you. And also people must understand that Africa is a great continent with great people. And we have so much to offer this world. We have so much. We have so much to offer this world. So being an African child is one of the things that also motivates me daily, that you know what, I can contribute to this world as an African child. There's a lot that I can offer this world. And I mean there's a lot. Because like I said, jewelry represents so many things. Do you know we could do like a peace campaign where we like the Ubuntu. You remember the Ubuntu?
I remember the Ubuntu. I wanted to actually talk
about So you could go along those lines to say, you know what, we want to end hunger. How can we do that? Because that's the project that we do as a brand. We call it impact projects, where we are simply saying
the foundation.
It could be partnership through the foundation and the brand. But what we are simply saying is, how can we make a difference? Or where are we needed as a brand that is solution driven?
Wow.
So in essence, we are simply saying we could be creating, maybe it's a bracelet or a chain that represents, let's say, peace, for example.
Sure.
And with that bracelet that represents peace, we are saying we need to sell, let's say, 1 million units. And from those items, we could donate, let's say, 20% of the proceeds to the organization that is in need. Or I think even better, we could do a program, let's say maybe an agriculture program, where we are teaching young people how to farm, and then from there entrepreneurs will come. So it's not a once-off. So those are some of the things that we are venturing into going forward, because like I said, making a difference is like through jewelry, of course, but it's something that sometimes does not happen instantly. Doesn't matter whether you want to do good, because this idea is a big idea. It's a big idea.
100%.
So it requires certain elements to be in place in order for you to be able to execute.
Wow.
You see.
Sure, man. I'm really inspired. I think I can't stop talking about TMDS, especially every time when I come around NewTown, because nowadays I spend a lot of time around this place because of M Studio. I'm trying to work something with them for the podcast. I'm also trying to utilize their services as well. Because I think they're a creative hub. That actually supports a lot of creatives. So I'll be spending a lot of time there. But coming around here each and every time, looking at what you're doing right here. Obviously, I didn't see you in 2012 when you were starting, but I saw you a couple of years ago. When we were still pushing very hard, and you're still pushing very hard, and there's much growth, and I think that growth is the one that actually motivates me even more. Let's just to close this conversation, and this is not the last conversation, by the way. So we will have another conversation. I would love for us to have another breakdown where now we just talk about life. We can maybe that time celebrate the wedding, but it's fine. So maybe we can talk about those dynamics. But for now, I think let's wrap it up like this. As an individual who has been in this entrepreneurial journey or in this entrepreneurship journey, what would you say that were the key moments for you, key turning point moments? I mean, it's 12 years. In the period of 12 years, there's a lot that happened. I'm sure there was a time where you thought, no, this is really difficult. Maybe family coming for you, or friends, losing friends, losing partners, whatever. Like, what were the turning points of your life or of the business during this 12-year period?
So I think it's the day my family said, we support you. That's it. Like, me knowing that my family is with me, there was nothing that was going to ever stop me, because I knew if I needed something, I could always rely on my family. That was a game changer.
That took how long?
Maybe 7 years.
Sure.
7 years. So also you need to be patient, because I mean, you have to also understand, I had studied for close to a decade and obtained 6 qualifications, 3 local, 3 international. So like, when you look at my profile, award-winning designer, internationally recognized. Like, when you look at my profile, you wouldn't understand, why am I not doing well? Why? So
why is this person not like thriving by now?
So even for them, I could understand where they are coming from. So even when I was explaining myself, I was patient with them, trying to show them this vision. So it's also important, if whether your family supports you or not, like, it's important to understand that maybe sometimes, or most of the time, they want to see you doing good.
They want to see you
and them saying, no, maybe it's time for you to look at something else. It's not coming from a bad place, but it's for you to show them that you actually want this. You want to do this. Like, it's through you that they will understand. You see, because
your resilience is the one that makes them buy into the whole thing and have confidence
in you. So who wants to bet on a losing horse? No one. No one. So
but then a losing horse that, according to their perspective, has been losing for so long and
still consistent.
And after some time, then you realize that, okay, but even if this person doesn't have tangible results to show, the fact that they've stuck to this for 7 years,
then it says something.
I mean, logically, as a person, you can realize, okay, I got this something.
But also another thing with family, of course, I've never experienced that. If you are chopping and changing, this year you are interested in this, next year you are and you expect your family to support you, and so it becomes difficult. You see, but if you are consistent in one thing, at least there's hope that this person has been doing this for this maybe next year.
Of course, man, Themba, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your time. I think like I said, even before we started this conversation, this will not be enough time. I'm going to attend an event here at M Studio. It starts at 11.
All right.
But I appreciate the fact that you made time.
All right.
Because I'm hijacking you straight inside your shop, straight inside your studio, and that's a bit unfair. But you guys will understand. You know, when you want this thing, you know, you just try. You just try.
Course,
you know, I texted this man yesterday, and said, look, can we pull this thing? And he said yes. You know, so I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I've always said that I'm willing to help those who are willing to help themselves. That's that for me.
That's a great philosophy.
Yeah. If you are if you want to help yourself, and I can see that this person wants to help themselves, then I'm in.
That they're giving the effort. They're trying. You know, so you can lift them up a bit.
Yeah, because also you have to understand how this success thing works. So now if we are in the same plane, trying to make it, all of us, and then we are stepping up, then we are successful. So now you are successful with other people.
You have a circle.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want to do bigger projects, you can always call on those people that's what it is.
I see.
You see.
Okay.
So it's not nice to be successful alone.
It's not nice.
I always say this now, especially for us Africans, you think you are success, one black person. It's not something that we should be celebrating too much. Because chances are, I made an example long time ago. You understand the philosophy of Ubuntu, right?
Yes.
So if a family can afford to help their neighbor's child and they don't, it's a dangerous thing.
Wow.
It's a dangerous thing because if someone is not given more opportunities, even when they are capable of doing certain things and they're not given opportunities, do you understand this, that at some stage or one day they can simply decide that no, I'm gonna go the crime route.
Of course.
What's gonna happen to it? The thing is, what people don't understand or realize is, you might not be hurt by this generation, but the next generation, because your father did not contribute to society. Even if it was like a smaller contribution, now those kids have grown up, they have kids. Now your father is a criminal.
Sure.
we can pause there.
Thinking about life that way is very deep.
But I promise you, this is what we need to be conscious of, because when we are at that state, now it's easy for us to want to do good, to make a difference, because we understand that it's not only about us, but there are other people that are within our circle, and if we contribute to their life, we are basically making life a better place.
Yeah,
it's simply that. When I think it's Michael Jackson, when he said, "Let's heal the world, make it a better place," simply saying that.
Let's contribute.
Exactly.
Let's work as a collective.
Yeah, it's that.
Wow. Themba, where can people find you on the socials? I know you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, aka X, YouTube. You're everywhere.
Yeah, if you type TMDS Africa, you definitely going to find us.
Yeah, just on your Google Chrome, on your Safari, whatever Google app, whatever search engine you're using, just search TMDS Africa. There is no other TMDS, so there's no confusion there. You will definitely find the correct one.
Yeah.
And then you can find all other details in those links that pop up there.
And before we close, it's time. I know people are getting engaged every day. People are getting married every weekend. Why not choose TMDS?
Why not choose TMDS?
We have seen the work that we do. And
100%.
It's not about us, right? We look out for our community.
I see.
How many big brands that have foundations and actually doing the work in the community?
I don't know them. I don't know if I don't want to mention names, but hey, yeah.
But anyway,
you know them, those ones that sell, they never do the work in the community. There.
So,
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Themba.
Awesome.
Until next
Thanks.
time, man.
Awesome.
Right now, I just want to do like a short clip that showcases the entire, studio. so that people can also see like
Yeah.
how this thing is set up, and also what are some of the products that are here
Okay.
that people perhaps maybe can come for. But
Okay.
all I can say right now is if you are around NewTown, just go upstairs next to what do you call this? Steak and call.
Yeah.
Or you can just go up.
If you see the FNB ATM, we are on the opposite side.
Okay.
Just close to the escalator.
Yes, so you take the escalator, you go up, and then you look for TMDS.
Yeah,
You will see them, and then you come here, you do some shopping. You see. For those of you that are thinking of wifing,
Yeah.
some of
Doing the right
ladies
thing,
there,
basically.
Yeah, myself, I'm not there yet, but it's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Break It Down with Elvis, Molefi, Molf, and we are out.
Cheers.